Hello. This is day 2 of quarantine for me. I worked up until last Friday. I was still on a skeleton crew that we had going at the department store I work for, and now they have officially shut down everyone. So we are on lockdown in the state of Tennessee. I'm sure the most of you in this country at least are also here. So we're all kind of, no matter what walk of life you are in, dealing with this situation at the same time. And I refuse to deal with it in any way other than creatively. So that's what we're gonna do. Yesterday I cleaned out my makeup drawer, or my daughter actually did. She was going through my makeup drawer, and I realized that there's a lot of stuff that I haven't used in a very long time, and I was really excited to rediscover it. So I'm gonna actually do a makeup look right now with stuff that I have rediscovered or never used. One of these I've never used. This palette right here, y'all are gonna hear my son's electric guitar. It's in the next room and there's no way around it, so I'm not gonna make him stop, so enjoy. This is a Kat Von D palette from Lord knows how long ago. Just keep in mind, a lot of this stuff is expired. You do not need to be using expired makeup on your face. I am doing it anyway. This is the Kat Von D Center palette, I think is what it's called. Never touched it. These are not colors I would ever use in a million years, but I received it as a gift, and I have literally only swatched it ever. So I'm gonna try a look with these. I'm gonna kind of supplement it with this palette that I have used on multiple occasions. This is the, again, old makeup, Tarina Tarantino Star Child Odyssey Collection palette, which actually I have used before and it's really beautiful, but I'm gonna try to sort of balance these out a little bit. So it's raining in Tennessee. We've got more tornadoes coming, probably. It's that time of year, and unfortunately we have been hit hard, what with the virus and tornadoes all at one time. So again, stressful time in Tennessee, but I'm operating on a relatively low stress level right now. I have been able to cope pretty well so far. All of us are gonna have our anxious moments, but I'm gonna make a video after I put my makeup on about my fitness and wellness routine, and hopefully it will be of help to some of you who are having trouble getting the ball rolling on that. If we're gonna be stuck at home, we need to be top-notch health, physically and immunologically. Don't think that's a word. But yeah, I think we need to boost our immune systems however we can. And I don't know if y'all can see, but this is my new dress from Retrospect. I might do a dress video with my Retrospect dresses because they are my favorite dresses that I've ever had. I have like 5 of them now. And this is my newest one. She's beautiful. She is the canal print in the Connie style, which is like the standard 1950s shirt dress with a belt. She fits perfectly, and I have nowhere to wear her. So she is all dressed up with nowhere to go. Anyway. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my Clinique Moisture Surge. This is not new. I use this every day. This is I'm kind of in front of my window, kind of in front of my ring light, so I don't know. I moved everything around in my room. I just decided I didn't care what was behind me anymore, just because I wanted to have a little bit more like daylight on my face. I think it's just easier to get better balanced lighting, especially for makeup, if you have the daylight on your face. And this was the closest place that I could go. There's a window right there, and I'm trying to balance out the light, so you'll see my daughter's unmade bed behind me. Hopefully the lighting is decent. I'm gonna put on some primer now. The primer that I rediscovered was my Clarins Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch Primer. This is still my all-time favorite primer. I prefer it to any of the ones from high-end brands like the La Bosse or any of the HD Perfecting primers from any of the other big companies. I just love this primer, but I don't use a primer in a standard way. I use it basically just in areas where I feel like I need the smoothness. I don't use it all over. I use my Moisture Surge as my standard primer. So I'm putting this all over. And then I'm gonna move on to foundation. The foundation I rediscovered is the Beyond Perfecting Foundation from Clinique. I have love-hate relationship with this. I discovered I have to use 2 colors. If I use one color, it's too much. It does have very high coverage, which is good, but I think that sometimes the coverage I don't feel like they have enough colors to match me perfectly, so I kind of use two. And the two that I'm using are the 6.5 Buttermilk, which is the darker shade, and I use it like around the bottom portion of my face. And then I use the Linen around the center of my face. And these little marks I'm making, that's actually a lot. I probably didn't need to use that much. This is the buffing foundation brush, which is great, and it's from Clinique. And I just basically take it and like blot it all over. Another even better foundation application brush for this makeup is the, not brush, but option is a beauty blender that's damp. But you do have to make sure it's damp, always. So maybe y'all can tell me what y'all are doing to pass the time. We are watching a lot of movies. We've been watching at least one movie a night, maybe two. And I think we should start doing more games. I'm trying to keep my kids from being on the computer all the time, even though during these early weeks, they're technically on spring break. So, you know, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go over my eyelids too. I feel nervous. I haven't done makeup in so long. I mean, I do makeup every day for my work, but I go very, very light because my job is very kind of physically active. So I'm not really in a position where I have to wear a lot of makeup anymore, or where like any creativity with makeup is really something that I shoot for. I just do serviceable. So you can see, hopefully, when you use two shades, I feel like it keeps it from looking too light all over or too dark all over. So that's pretty good coverage, I think. The next thing I'm going to do, I really don't need concealer with this foundation because it's so high coverage. So, don't really need concealer. I'm just using this around my eyes as well. And then I'm going to use a powder. Instead of using a standard setting powder, I'm using the finishing powder from Bobbi Brown. This is a one of those mosaic type powders, and I had forgotten all about this. This is actually a really great powder. And you can use it to sort of, I don't know if y'all have ever used the Lightscapade from MAC. It's fabulous, but it gives you like this like bright quality on top of your foundation. And it still sets, and that's what this does as well. It's sort of a highlighting finishing powder. Similar also to the Besame Violet powder, which I love. And I'm using my powder brush from Clinique. I have this set of brushes from Clinique I haven't been using lately, so I'm trying to use it. I had it set aside to use for clients, but I don't really have clients anymore. My job has changed. I am very, very busy. I am a lot stronger physically, and we'll talk about that in the next video. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is use a Strawburn Brow Powder Duo from Anastasia, another one that I haven't used in a while. This is fantastic. I have forgotten all about it. I'm going to use an angled brush, and I'm just going to use, it has two shades. I'm going to use the center, and I'm going to, oh, by the way, I'm in workout clothes and it's a little chilly in the house, so that's why I'm wearing this fleece jacket. Not the most attractive outfit. I don't care. All right, so I'm using this over the arch first. I'm only going to use this on my brows today because I'm really all about like natural brows right now. I'm not doing a defined brow. I'm only doing a filled brow. So no concealer, no edging. This is just what? I have a very demanding cat. Let's look at him. This is Kimchi. Say hi. I don't think y'all have ever met Kimchi. Isn't he pretty? Too sweet, Kimchi. He's purring really loud here. Cats aren't worried, y'all. Everything's hunky-dory for them. Okay. In a minute, maybe I will show you Marshall. He's my big, fat boy cat. And I have a funny story about Marshall. I'll tell it to you later. Okay, so I'm just using, I might actually have used a little too much of the dark side. It's got a light side and a dark side, much like the Force. Okay, so I'm using the lighter color on the interior portion and then the darker color on the arch. I really need to pluck. I guess I have no excuse not to find time to pluck, huh? I really hope, I have a lot of girlfriends all over the country that I have a text, an ongoing group text going on with, and something I really love lately is that on Instagram and stuff, I mean, I'm totally avoiding Twitter and Facebook right now, so if any of you have tried to communicate with me there, I'm not really responding because I'm very disillusioned by those two places right now. However, I really enjoy Instagram. It feels like there's a lot more positivity there right now. And one thing I've discovered is a lot of people are doing live streams of themselves doing mundane things like cooking. Not as a tutorial, really, but more as a hangout session, and I really love that. So I would love to see more of y'all do that. Just little hangout sessions, like maybe like this one, but not necessarily makeup, just hanging out. So here is the brow color. It's actually a really good color for redheads. My hair desperately needs to be colored and cut. Look how long it is. Y'all can't even see the ends. See? It's super long. But yeah. So it's a really good color for redheads because it's not too dark and not too light, and not too red. It's just a warm shade. But this is the color called Strawburn. I don't know if they carry this color anymore. Again, old makeup. So those look okay, right? Okay, so now I'm moving on to eyeshadow base. I'm a little nervous to do eyeshadow. Haven't done eyeshadow in a very long time, and these colors are cuckoo. But anyway, so right now I'm doing an eyeshadow base with my Clinique concealer brush. This is the NYX eyeshadow base. I do use this pretty regularly. This is not just something I've rediscovered, but I really like the staying power of it. The problem is that unlike a paint pot from MAC, it actually doesn't dry matte. It is very sticky. So I also am going to use a matte setting powder over the top. This is the Stay Matte press powder from Clinique. And you will see the light go a bit yellow because I don't know how to combat that. I am at a loss. It just turns yellow sometimes. I'll try to work it out in editing, but if not, then it'll just be yellow. Hopefully we'll be able to get some true life pictures of the colors on some photos. The color I'm going to use first, these colors are very cool. The first thing I'm going to do is actually just use the purple, straight up, full force, this color right here. And I'm going to use this sort of as a transition shade. I'm going to stay away from the greens or the grays because I don't find them to be very attractive. And I'm using this color full force right here across the crease and into the outer V. So already starting off with some bright purple. Got some purple. And then I'm going to take my powder, my clean blending brush, and I'm just going to sort of get at the edges. So instead of using a neutral transition shade, I'm actually using this purple as my transition shade, which is something I don't typically do. I thought about doing sort of a 1970s or 1930s style with these colors, and then I thought, no, what's the point? I don't have the hair going today. I'll just do something more contemporary. So there's the purple. It's all over the lid. It looks very yellow in this light on camera, but it does not look yellow in person. It looks very purple. And I'm not really worried about keeping this neat right now because I'm going to go back in and do quite a bit of altering to it. The next thing I'm going to do is take that same smaller eyeshadow brush and I'm going to do this kind of plummy color right there. That one. This color is super dark and it's almost like the alternative to black. And I'm just tapping it into the outer corner. I'll take a smaller brush. I'm going to use a angled brush, this one here, and I'm going to do that same purple shade underneath like as a liner. Not soft, but very sort of hazy. I'm going along the upper edge right here. Okay, and now I can go back through and buff it out again. And because I don't want the color to go crazy, I'm using a smaller brush to blend. So I'm using this. I don't want the color to diffuse too large, so I'm using a smaller fluffy brush. It's not really fluffy, but it's sort of like a slightly smaller fluffy brush. So now I have that eyeshadow like sort of diffused around the edges. I'm going to take that fluffier brush and go up into that part where it's starting to look a little bit more patchy. I'm shocked how well this is blending though. It's not looking like it's going to be difficult to keep it under control. So this so far is just two colors. It's just a light purple and a dark purple. Now there is fallout and I should have known to put my makeup on after. So I'll have to go back through with a makeup wipe and clean that up. You can see it. And I'm going to do that pink just on the brow bone. And it is a high definition, super, super shimmery pink. You can see that highlight it gave. Maybe. It just looks yellow. And then I'm going to take... That ended up looking a lot golder than I thought it would because this is obviously not really a pink. There was a color from Clinique called Strawberry Fudge that had a pink eyeshadow blended with it and it ended up looking very gold on the lids. So this is kind of one of those. But I'm also going to take a very small brush and do this super frosty blue color. It's kind of a silver and put it right here on the inner lid. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to take, I think I'm done with that palette for now. I'm going to take this frosty lavender shade that's in the center of the Torino Tarantino palette. And I'm just going to use my finger and dot it in the center. Oh, that is so pretty. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's very strong pigment. All in all, as far as the purple qualities go, I really love the purple shades in that Kat Von D palette. I think though that the shades in the Torino Tarantino palette are more pleasing. So I'll have to go through and do some concealer after this, but you can see that super frosty purple lid, and then I'll take this fluffy brush and just kind of pat over it. I don't want to compromise that frostiness. So you can see it's like just a hazy purple look. I'm okay with it. And I'm going to take a little bit more of my face powder and just sort of go around the edges of that purple on the outer corner just because I want it to stay as hazy as possible. I don't think I want to do any harsh lines at all. No real definition here, just kind of keeping it a hazy purple. This is actually turning out to be, because my application technique is very similar all the time, this is actually turning out to look a lot like my Judy Jetson tutorial, only without the wing liner. So I'm not going to put any wing liner on just because I feel like it's going to be too close. But this is a really beautiful bold purple, and then this color in the center is fantastic. And then when you look at just the the nuance of color in this Torino Tarantino palette. It's got the silver, but it's not several shades of silver. It's just this one silver. I do just think I would get more use out of this, and I think I actually have in the past gotten a lot more use out of this. So, good to know, just for future reference. I'm just going to keep using a little bit more of that purple. As I feel like it dies, I'm going to add more. And then I might also take a tiny little bit and use it underneath my eye, just in the center. So we've brought down that purple, darker color on the outer edge, and then we've got this frosty purple on the inner, and then we have that frosty silver on the inner corner. Right here. Wow, you can really see that. Okay. Just hazy and glittery. And then instead of using eyeliner, I'm going to call this finished, and I'm going to do a mascara. And the mascara that I rediscovered is this fabulous mascara from Blink. I have had this for years. It does not need to continue being used, but I really love it, so I'm going to use it anyway. This is one that has the tubing effect, but it's a beautifully defining mascara, so that's what I want with this. I want it to be about lashes and kind of diffused color and not really about any liner. Also, when your eyes are getting a little older like mine are, I feel like sometimes these looks can be more flattering. If I do a large enough wing, or a small enough wing, I can continue to do an eyeliner, like a winged liner. But if I try to do my standard medium wing that I have done for years, it's never the best. I really feel like I need to be in a place where I'm using less winged liner, unless I'm just really wanting to do a full-on dramatic Elizabeth Taylor, Cleopatra wing. Okay, maybe I'll put some eyelashes on just to give it a little more boost. The problem with these lashes, they're the cheap ones, and they have this like black band. So unfortunately, I won't be able to go completely liner free if I wear them. Do y'all hear my son's death metal growl? Anyway, okay. So these lashes have been used before, so I've put my glue on them and I'm just sort of wiggling them back and forth while it dries to kind of get that same curved shape going. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this eyelash on. I've let the glue dry just a little bit. And I'm trying to keep it, because I'm trying to go liner free, I'm trying to keep it as close to the lash line as possible. So you may have to really work on that inner corner and make sure that you do not get any distance above your lashes whenever you're pressing it down. That way you can keep that liner free look. This is the eye look. I'm going to let the eyeliner dry, and then I'll probably touch it up with just a very, very thin line of eyeliner, liquid liner, just to cover that band. But mainly I'm really happy with it because I wanted to go liner free and I wanted it to be using these colors that I never use, so I'm kind of happy with it. Next I'm going to go on and do, let's see, I've already done mascara, some more things that I found in my stash that I just was like so excited to find and had completely forgotten about. This highlighter by Lorac, sorry, it's called Perfectly Lit Luminous, is a fantastic highlighter, and I had forgotten I had it. Another thing that I really love is this ColourPop Super Shock Cheek. It's called Lunch Money, and it's a beautiful kind of like putty highliner. See, it's like soft. I'm going to use that at the top of my cheekbones. Oh, I forgot to add some concealer because of the fallout from that eyeshadow. So I'm going to just add a little bit of concealer underneath and really sort of light it up. Vamonos, vamonos. Where is my... And then I'm going to use this foundation. Uh-oh. I'm going to use my foundation brush and just pat. I'm just patting. Gosh, this was so fun and I'm really liking this look. It's so pretty, I think. It's fun. It's kind of space agey. Even without the crazy eyeliner, it reminds me of Barbarella. Is that crazy? The yellowness has kind of gone away from my camera. Why does it do that, y'all? Please tell me. Okay. So I've got my concealer on. I had already taken off everything under my eyes because of the fallout, so I'm going to use a little bit more of that setting powder, and I'm using that luminous setting powder again underneath. And now I'm going to take the same blush brush and I'm going to use a blush that I just rediscovered. It's the Napoleon Purtis. Wah! Came out of the package. Okay, it's the Napoleon Purtis Mosaic Powder Blush. And it's in the color Blushing. I think there were like 3 shades of this. They had like a face highlight and then they had 2 blushes. One of them was peachy and one was plummy. This is the plummy one. It is so pretty. I had forgotten how pretty it is. I'm going to use a little more so you can see it better on camera. You still can't see it. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, I just don't want to look crazy. There it goes. See how pretty that is? It's like a plummy bronze, really, is what it is. And now I really had to debate about what lip color I wanted to use because I had just rediscovered a couple of favorites. This one, of course, I'm not going to use with a purple eye, but it is the Fire and Ice from Revlon. Do y'all remember? This is one of Revlon's oldest colors. Multiple stars from the 50s used it. It's gorgeous. And then I also really, my very favorite all-time red, I have lots of favorite reds, as y'all know. Cine Noir from Besame, or from Julie Hewitt, Besame Red, Red Velvet from Besame. There's so many beautiful ones. Hot Red from Besame, so many great reds. But texture-wise, I have to say this is my favorite all-time red, and this is Carnal. It's an orange red, sort of like the Fire and Ice, but the feel of this lipstick is phenomenal. I love the magnetic tube. It's from Estee Lauder. So Carnal is still my all-time favorite red. Didn't know if y'all knew that or not. But the color I decided on because of the color of the eyes is this wonderful Buttershine lipstick from Clinique called Cranberry Cream. It's sort of a burgundy color. I'm going to keep it somewhat light by applying it to one lip and then going. So I'm just getting almost a stain of color. And then I'm going to use this Intense Cosmo lip liner to just sort of define my lips. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this Instant Light Natural Lip Perfector in Pink Chocolate or Pink Toffee, just to the center of my bottom lip. Yeah, like that. Okay. My Pretty Easy lining pen, I'm just going to take it and carry it underneath, right here. So that's imperceptible, where my eyelashes start and where the other ones start. So I like it. I think it makes my eyes look really big, not having liner on. But you can't really tell, see? Okay, that's the makeup look. That was super fun. Let's do more fun stuff like this, okay? I guess that's all for this. I will come back to you in a minute with a little health and wellness video. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and I will see you soon.